You are handing your peace to people who haven't earned it. And it's costing you more than you think. Someone talks down to you today, cuts you off, smirks, and you feel that hot flash rise up your neck. Then you do the thing you always do. You carry it. You replay it in the shower, in the car, at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling. That moment cost them nothing. It's costing you your whole evening. In the next few minutes, you'll see why your reaction to disrespect is the one thing they can never take from you, and exactly what to do with it. Let's be honest about what's really happening. The comment that was just a little too sharp. The eye roll in the meeting. The text that should have come and never did. You start writing the perfect reply in your head. The one that would have ended them. You polish it. You rehearse it. You never say it. So now you carry it instead. Or maybe you do say something. Something sharp back. And for 1 second it feels like winning. Then you spend the next hour wondering if you went too far. Either way, the same thing happens. Your whole day bends around one person's bad moment. Here is the part nobody admits. When someone disrespects you, they steal a few seconds of your life. When you replay it for 3 days, you give them the rest. There's a reason this hurts so much. The Stoics named it almost 2,000 years ago. They called it the confusion between what is yours and what is theirs. So here is the truth this whole video turns on. Disrespect is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens to you. And the space in between, that space belongs to you alone. Another person's contempt says everything about them. And nothing about your worth, unless you sign for it. Think about what's at stake here. If you don't learn this, every rude stranger becomes your boss. Every cashier having a bad day gets to decide how your afternoon goes. Your peace gets handed out to whoever wants it least. But if you do learn this, something changes. You become almost untouchable. Not cold. Not fake. Just sovereign over your own mind. The same people, the same rooms, and suddenly they have no grip on you. The rude comment still happens. It just stops following you home. That is the whole difference between a person who is at the mercy of the world and a person the world cannot move. It comes down to a few shifts. The last one is the one almost no one is willing to make. The first shift is the foundation. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. Epictetus was born a slave. He knew exactly how little of life we actually command. And he opened his handbook with one brutal, clarifying line. Some things are in our power, and some things are not. In our power, our opinions, our choices, our actions. Not in our power, our body, our property, and what other people think of us. Our reputation. Read that again. Your reputation is not yours. It lives inside other people's heads. You can't reach in there. You can't fix it by force. So when someone disrespects you, watch what's really happening. They are tugging on something you never controlled in the first place. Here's the analogy. Picture your mind as a house. Their words are someone knocking on the door, hard, demanding to be let in. Now, the disrespect isn't the knock. People will always knock. Rude people, jealous people, people having the worst day of their year. The knock is just weather. The disrespect is when you open the door, invite them inside, pull out a chair, and hand them a key to the place where you sleep. That's the part you control. You can't stop the knock. You can absolutely stop handing out keys. The payoff is simple. The next time someone is rude to you, you don't have to lock the door harder. You just have to stop giving them away. Let me show you what this looks like when it costs everything. There's a story told about a philosopher walking through the streets of ancient Athens. A man stepped out in front of him and struck him hard across the face. In public. For no reason at all. A crowd gathered fast. And the crowd wanted what crowds always want. They wanted the fight. They wanted the philosopher to swing back, to scream, to be dragged down to the level of the man who hit him. He didn't. He stood there. He touched his own cheek. And he said, calmly, "It's a shame I didn't know to put on my helmet before I left the house this morning." That's it. No insult. No threat. He treated the blow like rain he forgot to dress for. The man came to provoke a reaction. He came to feel powerful. And he walked away with nothing because the philosopher refused to be the second person in the fight. But here's what nobody tells you about that moment. He did not win by being passive. This is where people get the Stoics completely wrong. Staying silent because you're scared is not Stoicism. That's just swallowing it, and it rots you from the inside. He won because of something deeper. He genuinely did not need that man's approval. The contempt couldn't land because there was no hook inside him for it to catch on. And that connects straight back to the door. The man knocked as hard as a human can knock. He used his fist. But the philosopher never opened the door. So all that force just landed on wood and faded. When you stop needing the approval of the person attacking you, their attack has nowhere to go. It's like throwing a punch at smoke. There's nothing solid there to hit. And notice what the philosopher did not do. He didn't pretend it didn't happen. He didn't lie to himself and call the man a friend. He saw it clearly. A man hit me, in public, for nothing. He just refused to let that fact rearrange who he was. But there's a second shift. And the first one alone won't hold without it. Because it's one thing to say their opinion isn't yours to control. It's another to stop being angry at them for having it. Here Marcus Aurelius does something strange. He was the most powerful man on earth. And he started his mornings by preparing himself to be insulted. He wrote that today he would meet people who are ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, and jealous. And then he wrote the line that changes everything. He said the person who wrongs you shares the same nature you do. He's not your enemy. He's confused. He can't yet tell good from harm. Sit with that. The person who disrespected you isn't a villain who chose to ruin your day. They're a person in pain, acting out of their own confusion, and you happen to be standing there. Here's the analogy for this one. Think of a dog that's been hurt. You reach down to help it, and it snaps at your hand. Does it bite because you're bad? No. It bites because it's in pain, and pain is all it knows how to speak right now. People who lash out are usually doing the exact same thing. The coworker who belittles you is drowning in something you can't see. The stranger who snaps is carrying a mourning you'll never know about. This is not about excusing them. It's about seeing clearly. When you see disrespect as a symptom, not a personal attack, the anger has nowhere to live. You can hold someone accountable and feel pity for them at the same time. That's not weakness. That's the calm of someone who finally understands what they're looking at. So let's bring this into your actual life. Tuesday, 10 in the morning. Someone takes credit for your work in the meeting. Or talks over you like you're not there. Or a stranger snaps at you for nothing in line at the store. Your body reacts before your mind does. The heat. The tight chest. The reply already loading in your throat. Here is the exercise. The Stoics practiced it on purpose, and you can too. It has 3 steps. I'll give it a name so it sticks, the pause. Step 1. Name it, silently. That was contempt. That was rudeness. You don't deny the feeling, you label it. Saying it in your head puts you back in the driver's seat. The emotion is no longer driving you blind. Step 2. Ask one question. Is this mine to carry, or theirs? Their tone is theirs. Their bad morning is theirs. Their confusion is theirs. Your next move is yours and only yours. Step 3. Respond from your values, not their level. Ask yourself who you want to be in this moment, and then be that person, regardless of who they are being. And there's a move here straight out of Epictetus. He said, when someone tells you that a person spoke badly of you, don't defend yourself against the charge. Just answer that clearly they didn't know your other faults, or they'd have mentioned those too. Read what that really is. It's disarming. It's humor. It's a person so secure they can agree with their critic and rob the insult of every ounce of power. Now, the hard question. When someone disrespects you tomorrow, are you going to label it or absorb it? Because here's the nuance most people miss. Silence is not always strength. Sometimes the dignified response is to speak. Calm. Clear. From your standards. If someone crosses a line, you can name it, set a boundary, even walk away from the relationship. The difference is this: you act because it's right, not because you got baited into it. The Stoic isn't the doormat. The Stoic is the one who chooses. Which brings us to the last shift. The one almost nobody makes. Marcus Aurelius wrote it in a single line. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Sit with that. When someone is cruel to you, every instinct screams to match it. To win by becoming, for one moment, exactly as small as they are. The Stoic does the opposite. He refuses. He stays kind when kindness is harder. He stays steady when chaos is invited. Not because the other person earned it, but because he refuses to be lowered to their level. That is the real response to disrespect. You don't rise to meet them. You make them rise to meet you, or reveal exactly who they are, standing there alone. Their behavior is a storm. Your character is the ground it falls on. And the ground does not argue with the rain. It just stays the ground. So remember the door. Every rude knock in your life is just someone asking to come in. You decide who gets a key. Here's my question for you. Think of the last person who disrespected you. Are you still holding the door open for them, right now, today? Tell me in the comments. I read them. If this gave you 1 degree more control over your own mind, subscribe. This channel is built to make you harder to shake, one idea at a time. And next time, we go deeper. The Stoic art of staying calm when your whole life feels out of control. That's the next video. It pairs with this one. Until then, guard your edge. Stay grounded.